pav bhaji because it becomes in large quantity. So I've taken a little bit of cauliflower, a small eggplant, one potato, carrot and peas frozen, green beans, bell pepper and paneer to add, and a little bit of cabbage to make crunch. So we're not going to boil bell pepper, paneer or cabbage. We're only going to boil cauliflower, eggplant, potato, carrots and peas and beans. So when you're putting vegetables to boil, it's better to cut them into smaller pieces because they'll boil faster and it's easier to mush them and you don't have to spend too much time. So I've cut potatoes, I've cut cauliflower into smaller pieces like this, and then I'm going to cut bell pepper and put beans and green peas and carrots in there. So I've cut down the eggplants into smaller pieces and I'm putting them in my cooker to boil. I'm going to put a little bit of carrots and peas. I'm using frozen, you can even use fresh if you want. And some green beans to boil. Now you don't want too much water in it, only because otherwise it will take longer to cook. So just a little bit of water. Eggplant and all the other vegetables have water, so just put a little bit of water so that you can mush the vegetables. So as our vegetables are getting boiled, in the meantime I'm making the base masala. I have taken about 5 tomatoes only because I have smaller ones, so you can have 3 to 5 tomatoes, some ginger and 3 green chilies. I'm going to make them a puree, and then I'm going to make an onion and garlic base as well, so I'll show you that in a minute. Just put a little bit of water, you don't want too watery. You can also chop instead of making a puree, like fine chop, but I like to do puree because then you don't see the tomato flakes in there. So as our vegetables are boiled, I'm going to make the base. So I usually don't boil my bell peppers only because I like the crunch of bell peppers. So we'll cook them once the base is ready in the base. So for base I have chopped onions, I have grated garlic, and then I had pureed tomato, ginger and green chilies. So we'll start at high fire for now, at high. Now for pav bhaji you need a lot more oil than regular. So just a little bit more than usual oil is what you need for pav bhaji. Has come to a little bit of high flame. Okay. So we'll put some hing in it. 1/4 teaspoon of hing. And then 4 teaspoon of jeera. Cumin. Little bubbly boiling. We'll put the onions in it. Once the onions are a little bit pinkish or a little bit brown, then we'll put the garlic. If you cook, then the flavor goes away. So now once onions are, like I said, a little bit pink and they're still getting brown, we'll put the grated garlic in it. In pav bhaji, usually people like a lot of garlic. You can also adjust based on the taste. So we put the garlic and onions, and as we are doing the masala, we'll put the flame to medium. And now we are going to put some haldi powder, like 1 teaspoon. We already have green chili in our tomato base, so we are going to put a little bit of red chilies. Two teaspoon amchur powder, 4 teaspoon coriander powder, pav bhaji masala, depending on the flavor and the taste, I usually put 4 to 5 spoon Pav Bhaji masala, teaspoon. When you put the masala, Pav Bhaji masala, just stir it and see if you want to adjust a little bit more or less. Taste, so usually 4 1/4 of teaspoon is what I put in for salt. All the masalas in here. We are going to put our tomato base. You can see it is too liquidy right now, so we let it reduce to a point where there's hardly any water. It's just more oil and masala in it. So let it reduce. The vegetables are boiled. What you can do is you can mush them so that you don't have to drain out or anything. You can just squish them within the water itself. We'll put them later in the base once the base is reduced. So we reduce the water from the tomato base. See, it's thick now. It is still a little watery, but it's pretty thick, and you can see the oil on the top. So when it's this consistency, we are going to put our mushed vegetables that we just did into our base. So be careful because it might splash on you. So just put. When you mush the boiled vegetable in its own water, then you don't have to spend too much time once it's in the base. At this point, I've also diced some or chopped some fresh cabbage for garnish for later on. At this point, you can put your bell peppers. Again, bell peppers, I don't cook too much because it gives a little crunch, texture change to your Pav Bhaji. Mix it well so that all the masala and the base is all together. Cook on medium to slow flame. See, it's not watery anymore. You see the masala and the boiled vegetables absorbed. Just let it cook for about 10 minutes. Cooking for about 5 to 10 minutes in your base masala. Your Pav Bhaji consistency will be like this. Really not much water, some oil on top. And then now we'll put cabbage, fresh chopped cabbage. Not too much, just a little bit, so that again it gives a little crunch. We'll put some butter, and for garnish we have a little bit of chopped coriander, and I'm going to grate some cheese in it. So I'm just going to grate some paneer on the top, and our Pav Bhaji is pretty much done. And we'll put some lemon, green coriander and butter into the Pav Bhaji, and your Pav Bhaji is ready. Pav Bhaji is good when you have lots of butter in it. I'm just going to put some butter. It's going to melt in this Pav Bhaji. On top, I'm going to put some lemon, freshly squeezed lemon, like this. Green coriander, and this is ready Pav Bhaji to eat. That's the bhaji part, and just for masala pav, we put some butter on the pav, and then we're going to put some red chili pepper on each bun, and then all you have to do is just warm it up a little bit on here.